John, Past Commander John, honored clergy and government officials, Knights and Daughters of Vartan leadership, Armenian and American organizations, colleagues, family, and friends. Thank you for the opportunity to speak and to celebrate among you our shared victory. After the Armenian genocide scattered our people all over the world in 1915, only a miracle could bring them back together here and now, 100 years later, among us, their descendants. And we do always come together to rebuild and renew. Even today, for me to stand here before you is a joyous miracle. My father's family came to New Jersey 100 years ago, right before the genocide, and then they lost their family soon after. His grandparents lived in Union City on Central Avenue and ran a restaurant across from a silk factory in Patterson. His parents, my grandparents, raised him on 87th Street in North Bergen before they moved to Bergen County. And my mother and uncles came in the 1950s and 60s, settling first on 27th Street near Holy Cross Church, and then with their siblings and mother later in West New York. Our roots run deep here. Members of both sides of my family have lived here for generations, and many are here today. My aunt and uncle from Paramus, my cousins from Oradell, my aunt from Wall, and even more, as we all know, are watching us from the heavens, from above. My great-grandparents who lived in this great state 100 years ago, singing Anush Karun in their living room on Sundays, probably never would have guessed that decades later, their great-great-granddaughters, our daughters, would be sitting in the audience, and that their great-granddaughter would be standing in front of the Hackensack courthouse, celebrating and speaking to our people and our compatriots, honoring our heritage and embracing our journey into our next 100 years. In the presence of all of you, kindred spirits, Armenians and honorary Armenians of all backgrounds, I see more than ever how the generations are forever intertwined, influencing each other, and how our shared stories and the truth of our history binds us together. As I look upon you, I see a glorious journey and process where we all have a stretch of road that we call our own, carrying the baton from those before us and one day passing it on. As I look upon you, I see all the generations that came before you and me, and all that will come after, all the shoulders we have stood on, and those that our youth will stand on in the years to come. As I look upon you, I see a supremely grand staircase. Laying the wide and gracious foundation was our ancestors first with their sacrifice, and as the steps get higher and narrower, I see the steps we are to take, you and I, in our journey to make things a bit easier and truer for those who follow us. And I look up ahead and higher up that staircase, I see the higher steps that I will never take, that our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren will take for us and will do us proud as they get ever closer to the goals of our people's redemption and renewal and eternal destiny. In this milestone year and in this beautiful moment today with you, our shared history and our shared journey make our purpose clearer than ever. Our purpose is to build. We must build the foundation of our people's next 100 years. But build what and how? Number one, build character by remembering where we came from and helping our children and grandchildren do the same, by embracing our heritage and faith, by understanding our past and our future. Build character. Number two, build relationships by speaking the truth with love, by not letting factions destroy us, by embracing our families and churches, by building relationships. And three, by building leaders, our next generations, putting our values to action in service in all sectors, working for our people's future, being an example. Build leaders. The great architect Frank Lloyd Wright said that the space within becomes the reality of the building. So when we build character, build relationships, and build leaders, what do we build? What do we yield? What is the result? Deeper, stronger spirits, number one. Hearts to handle anything. Number two, closer families and communities, our truest foundation. And number three, more effective and influential organizations to accomplish what our people need here and worldwide. How did our ancestors show these traits? They upheld character by embracing their faith and heritage. They upheld relationships by devoting themselves to their families. They showed leadership, thirdly, by sacrificing themselves for their principles and for their people, something we're still honoring today, 100 years later. They are the perfect example of what it means to build. They didn't establish scholarships. They gave their blood and souls to their children. They didn't chair committees, but they served and served and served. They didn't win awards or get to give speeches, but they loved their families with all they had and prayed to God with all they were. Not that those other things are bad, committees and scholarships and things, but our ancestors focused most on what mattered most with the means they had. They built on the foundations of our forefathers, of St. Gregory the Illuminator, whose foundational belief established Armenia as the first Christian nation on this earth. They built on the foundation of those who came before them. They built on the foundation that we now stand upon. We would not be here without their devotion. We Armenians are builders. We build churches around the world. We build homes here and in Armenia. We build farms. We build schools. We build businesses. We build nations. We build lives. We build minds and hearts and souls with passion. To build is a sign of life. And even the Old English root of the word build is similar to the word dwell. We live in what we build. It becomes part of us. And the word build also implies that the process is gradual. We're always working on it. We're always building and rebuilding, doing and redoing. We're always on that journey. The opposite of building is tearing down, which is exactly what our detractors have been trying to do for 100 years. But they failed. They failed. The house built on sand and lies cannot last forever. They are incapable of creating anything of lasting value, and they only try to destroy the great work and spirit of others. But no matter what the naysayers try, we Armenians will keep building the spiritual, cultural, and educational, social dwelling places for our people to exist, to thrive, to expand and grow in the decades to come. The quality of our lives, personally, and of our work collectively as a people will be the greatest sign that Turkey failed and that the genocide did not destroy us. We don't need to wait for barbarians to legitimize our history, our truth. We already know the truth, and the truth has already set us free, and it has made our martyrs saints as of today. They have been enjoying a crown of glory for 100 years, but today it's official. They have the ultimate victory, and so do we, now and forever. What better reality for us to build on, to build character, build relationships, and build leaders for our people's next 100 years. As the verse says, the stone which the builders rejected became the cornerstone. This came about from our God, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Thank you.